Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to MVI. We're here in a 2017 GMC Sierra. This vehicle does not have the factory navigation. We're actually going to add that today. We're also going to add our 360 camera input module. So give you the adapter to mirror the smartphone along with 360 camera. So I'm going to get started on showing you the install of this process and we'll go from there. So as you can see, we've got no factory nav. We're going to change that and then add the rest of the parts. So let's get started. Go ahead and open your door up. Yep, you can close it. So first we're going to pop off the trim ring. Plastic nylon tool, big deal. Sounds like stuff is breaking, but it's not, I can assure you. Plug things there. So we got the 4/7 mils going all the way around the screen. This guy, just grab and pull. Once again, guys, that snapping sound, just these metal clips, nothing more. Unplug these. And we're going to set it aside. We are going to be connecting at the screen for the 360 AV module and then also the radio right here, which I'll show you here in a second, just FYI. So I am going to start with the navigation upgrade first. So I'm going to get the glove box out next. You do need a T15 Torx. And we've got 4 of them right here. And we've got some along the bottom here as well. So let me zap those guys out. Just 2 of them down here. Alright, with those out, now all you do is this guy right here. It'll pop right out. There is no need to mess with this, just kind of leave it as is for right now. So I'm going to start by getting the HMI out. And first thing you want to do is grab the harnessing right here and wiggle and tug. That's going to release it from the locking tabs on the side. And we're just going to unplug it. Clips can be tight, guys. So there are some release tabs right here that's holding that in, so you just kind of got to grab it and rock it back and forth while pulling down. This guy will come right out. And we're going to go back up with the new one. I do want you to pay attention to the way the label sits coming out. It is important that the label goes the same way going back in. So label up. Right back in the groove. Plug her back in. This is all there is to it, to the GPS upgrade, guys. So last step is just installing the antenna splitter, which we're going to do next. So we provide this guy here, which you'll want to double stick tape to the face of this guy, just kind of tucked on underneath there. And then we're going to be working with the OnStar module, this connector here, and then route the blue down. So let me get this thing prepped. Go. All right, guys, so we are going to work with the splitter next, connecting this. I have already rerouted it down. Basically just kind of reroute it through this cavity down through here, and then reach up to the back side, pull it through. It's going to plug into the only connector on the HMI that accepts the connector. It's the GPS blue connector there. So next, depending on the upgrade, you'll be working with one of two wires here. So 14 and early 15 vehicles, you're going to be working with the maroon colored connector to the left. 15 and a half or 15i vehicles all the way up through 2018 now, you're going to be working with a brown. And this is going to be for your Wi-Fi enabled vehicles. So if your vehicle has the Wi-Fi, you're going to have a brown. You're either going to have the brown or you're not. If you have the brown, you're working with it. Otherwise, you're working with the maroon. In this instance, we are going to work with the brown, and I do want to unplug it from the OnStar module. This can be a bear to get off, so I suggest a right angle pick. If you've got some strong fingers, which hopefully I do, you can get off. And the trick is to push in, guys, on the connector while pushing up, and that'll release it, which that did not. So again, guys, just kind of push up. You can see I struggle with this, and I do it all the time. Push in, and then out, just like that. So that connector can be a real son of a gun to get off. You want to make sure the inside of this is still intact. I've seen these lately, they like to disintegrate. So it needs to look like this, and your connector here on the OnStar module needs to be fully intact with the ridges on the outside, no debris in there. This guy here needs to be fully intact, nothing broken. So with that said, my splitter, this is now going to plug in to the gray. So if we had unplugged the maroon, it's going to plug into the gray, and then the middle port, which is pink, will either be maroon or brown, goes right back to the OnStar module, just like this. Oh, I've got it upside down, sorry. Boom, nothing to it. Double side tape, peel it, and just kind of stick it, guys, where it, this thing's only got so much slack, but out of the way, just right here to the top of the CD player is fine, nothing's harmed. Then I can pull my slack through on the back side here and get the cables out of our way. So if we're doing just the navigation upgrade, we're now ready to go back in with our screen and test it. This particular vehicle is going to get our unlock module as well. This is our add-on module, which I need to get some Velcro to attach this as well, but this is going to slide in right about in here, so I'm gonna have to adjust this splitter just a little bit. As you can see though, right about there, so things slide in nice and neat. Okay, and then we simply, nothing to this guy, plug this in here. All right, let's just kind of temporarily put it there. We're working with this connector here, the gray connector at the radio. Unplug, plug my male in, plug this guy back in here, tuck this out of the way so the screen can go back in nice and neat. I'm actually going to dress this up with zip ties, but for now we've got a wide open cavity. Let's take our screen back into place. Okay, and for demo purposes, we're just gonna click it in with the clips. And let's fire this bad boy off. Got the warning sign. We've got our home screen, which is good. If we go to NAV, I've got a map. It's not picking me up just yet. You can see the X here. I am on a very cloudy day, so this may take a second while we're waiting for this to pick up. I'll show you how the override works. So with this in place, just go back to radio. Simply gonna hit rear defrost 2 times. All right, guys, my apologies. Need to hear rear defrost, not the defrost button. So rear defrost 2 times. Message comes up on the screen. Just hit accept. You're now in override mode. And let's see if we have map, which it looks like I actually do. Let's see here. So I'm probably gonna have to drive this, but it looks like we're locked on. I'm kind of off the grid here, so there's no GPS X here, so it looks like we're good to go. Now we can go in and do our full address entry and whatnot. So I'll have to go drive this and let it pick up signal, which I'll be back here in just a second. All right, guys, so sorry we had a little bit of technical difficulty, but I got it all straightened out. So let's go back and show you the nav. We'll load the map. Possibly. And I'm off the grid here, but it does pick up. There's no GPS icon. If we go out and drive right now, it'll show the different streets and whatnot. So here we go. So you can see it coming in right here. So there's our factory navigation, as well as now if we want to enter our addresses while in motion, double tap of the rear defrost, confirm you're being safe. And now we're in override. Now we're gonna move on to our 360 camera module. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut this off. Open your door back up. And we'll rock and roll here. So let me get the screen back out. Our camera module right here. Get this guy out of your way. Just grab it, twist. This guy will come out of your way. So we can now get this harness out the way. Same thing here. Just kind of grab and twist. Pop this up. Set that aside. There's a perfect little pocket for this guy right down here, guys. It's gonna sit in here nice. Perfect little spot for it. Just double side tape it right to it. Okay, like it belongs. It's not going anywhere. Our connectors are going to come up and route through the dash. I'm probably going to have to remove the CD player to route it. We're going to plug in here and then over at the HMI with our harness here. We're also going to plug into this guy here, aux port right here. So let me just go ahead and start there for you guys so you can see how this comes out. Right angle pick. You got one here that can go in, a straight pick and go in nice. Just take your right angled in, grab it, pop it up just like that. Nothing more to it. unplug. Our T-harness will plug right in. This guy's your friend. Go to Lowe's, go to Home Depot. Electrical section, they're 3 feet long, maybe 2.5 feet long, whatever, zip ties. Cut the top off. I can now go right through here, through the side of my center console, tape this to the end, which I'll do here in a second and show you, and pull it right through. That way you're not fighting it. So let me go ahead and prep some stuff. I'll be back to show you what's going on. All right, guys, you can see I've got my zip tie pulled all the way through here. All right, modules mounted nice and neat back in here, right down in here. This is just a matter of routing harnesses up through the dash, guys. It's not fun, but we need to get the this guy right here is going to tee into our radio, which I'll do here in a second. And then the other portion came over here and stretched to the HMI, where it plugs in at the 16 pin of the HMI. So once you get this stuff routed through the dash, which isn't a lot of fun, it's not so bad after that. It's a matter of buttoning everything up. So what I'm gonna do now, I've got my aux cable right here. All I'm gonna do is kind of tape it. Don't need to go crazy, but enough to hold it. All right. And then kind of got to use your imagination and kind of help it through. You can see, there we go. That's all we need. I'm completely through. That's all there is to it. So now I got to find my spot where I broke the tape. Unwrap this guy. So we're done with that. Now this guy's just going to plug in right here where that was, and the connector that was plugged in, again, just twist things to where they're working. All right, get them to where they'll go back into place without binding up, jamming up. And let's just tuck our harnessing back in, just like that, and voila, our USB port is back in place. Now this guy I can just now pull nice and neat. Then I'm just going to simply pull my slack, get it under there, get my slack like this. Okay guys, nice and neat. Zip tie. You can do one. I like to do two. Pay attention to what you're doing. Don't cut your wire. That'll just tuck in there behind the panel. No rattling. Our module sits in here, nice and perfect. I haven't pulled the double-sided tape yet, but you can see where it goes, nice and neat. So I'm gonna go ahead and hook up our wire up here. So we're gonna come up here to the radio. Now remember guys, I put in that unlock module. Basically want the camera module plugged directly into the radio. If you're not doing the unlock module, your factory harness is going to plug in here. This side is my unlock module. Now I'm simply going to tuck things back just like that, so the screen can go in nice and neat. Everything's out of my way, nothing's jammed up, everything's nice and neat. So I do now have my new screen cable coming up to plug into the screen. it's running down basically to the box, and right here is the old screen cable plugged in. So the one that was plugged in plugs into the female here. And all I'm going to do is, once again, do this number, couple zip ties, and tuck that right in there. Make that nice and neat. These are for our heated seats. Nothing's jammed, everything's perfect. Our screen's going to plug right back in. The only thing left is now my USB and HDMI. Alright guys, so we're going to install our dual port HDMI USB right here. This guy does pop out. There's just two little, you got to kind of push at the same time here. But as this goes through, there's two little locking tabs here. So you got to get in with a little pick, pry out, push down, get that side going, hold it there, and then pop that guy and shove it through. This guy will pop right out. Step bit from Harbor Freight, Lowe's, Home Depot. You're gonna pay more at Home Depot and Lowe's for these guys than Harbor Freight, so I suggest Harbor Freight if this is all you're ever gonna use this for. Take it down 2 notches from where it first goes in. So I've already done this, but it's literally 2 ridges, 1, 2. And you can see it goes in nice right there. So the nice thing about this guy can now go back in here. If we ever take this guy back out, it'll still pop in and lock into place like nothing ever happened. So we're gonna go ahead and you're gonna see how nice and snug this goes. Work it in just like that, okay? Whether you want USB up or down, that's up to you. I'm gonna leave HDMI up, and then comes with a nut on the back side. Just do this guy here, okay, feed it. We're just going to tighten it down. Now again, I'm going to need to grab some pliers to tighten this properly, but once it's in, it's not going anywhere. That's nice and snug there, but I'm going to be off. I can tell just by the way that's cocked there, so I can twist it back, and just the whole physics of it kind of tightens it as I twist it back. That's good. Once it's in the truck, it's not going anywhere, guys. If you want to get crazy with it, you can. Even comes with a little door, make it look nice and factory. So that's the HDMI USB port. I'm gonna jump back in the truck and start mounting the rest of it. In the kit comes this. Unless you need to extend things further to go into the center console or something like that, you can just kind of toss it. You don't have to use it. I'm just going to plug my HDMI directly into my module right here. Okay, guys? And then the USB, which also contains your left turn signal. These are all specific sizes. You can't mess them up. Just don't go jamming things into slots. It's only going to go into one spot. So once again, I'm going to kind of get harnesses out of the way. Clicks right in. My USB cable plugs in there. That's it, aside from buttoning this up, which I'm going to do right now. I'm going to go ahead and pull this stick off the double side. Okay. And perfect little spot for it. Right there. No rattling. Looks like it's designed for it. Now, once again, these things are already wanting to kind of fold up. So here you go, guys, start to finish. With any luck, we fire this up and it works properly. Alright, now this guy is also going to want to hold up somewhat. I'm going to do is another couple zip ties. You don't have to do this, I just like things nice and neat. If you need to pull this thing back apart, everything's right there. You don't have a cluster of wires. Everything looks nice. HDMI does need some slack, so I am just going to actually tuck that. That said, this guy actually will just sit right here. Put this back in. Now, if you're doing cameras, which this customer is not, got a few more cables to kind of get routed in here and make nice and neat, but aside from that, we should be able to now plug everything back in. Okay, and last but not least, these guys. Remember, we eliminated the one power port, so this guy won't be used. Now, I did things correctly. Missing a panel right back over here. Let me pop that on. Okay, and then this guy's got little grooves. Slide right in. Back to factory. So, all that's left, guys, now is our screen. Plug my DVD player back in. I do need to get this out of the way. Excuse me, CD player. This is not a DVD player. Okay. plugged this in earlier, stuck it there, so we're nice. Everything looks like it belongs. The only thing I need is a Velcro right there, which I've got somewhere. Again, guys, it's pretty tight. You don't have to go through all this, but I just recommend it. Keep everything nice and snug. Nothing rattles. This guy here. In there nice and neat. All right, screen. We're live, guys. Let's see what happens. Again, we removed the factory micro USB that was there. We're supplying a new one with the kit. 360 camera anyway. Okay. There we go. And let's see what we got. So that's a good sign. And we've got our camera module now. So now we can go in here and pull up cameras if we had them, which this guy did not. Or we can go to our HDMI. And with the cable that we supply, either Android, the dongle, or there's another iPhone piece that we supply that I've lost somewhere that also plugs in, which I'll test here in a second. I can't show you on this phone testing that iPhone, so I'm gonna have to grab another phone to do that. But you'll plug in right here along with the power piece and plug in, then access video, and away we go. So let me grab that other phone. I'll be back to show you that here in just a second. Fired up. Right, guys, so I do have the new phone in, and so with it everything plugged in. So this is the iPhone cable that you'll be sent with right here. If you're getting Android, it's wireless. Only Android is wireless unless you do like an Apple TV through Apple. But this will be the Android piece. iPhone is plugged in. We can now go here in video, and I've got the whole phone now mirrored onto the screen. I don't have very good Wi-Fi out here, so let me just see if I can get YouTube going. I apologize, guys, there's not very good Wi-Fi out here. It's trying. Let's do this. Let's should have Verizon network now. There we go. Let's see little James Franco. And now we've got video playing, mirroring from the phone. So in the kit, guys, is a little dummy plug. Little dummy 3.5. Just simply insert that in there. Okay. Now we're gonna go to media on the control panel. Now we've got
established a fund, a legal defense fund for women and men who are being abused in this way. You got criticized for wearing that.
Now we've got audio.
Why? And,
so
and what
videos, Netflix, whatever, you can play right here. I am going to note real quick, guys. So you are going to go, if you're only doing this for the phone mirroring, you're going to want to go into the menu, into the settings, and turn off the cameras. Okay, otherwise you're gonna, when you come to a stop, your screen's gonna go blank. So let's just uncheck all these guys since you don't have any cameras. If you are doing cameras, you're gonna wanna go into this menu and set these. So again, just settings, camera. If you've got the rear factory OEM option, so if we go to reverse right now, go ahead and throw the truck in reverse. We get our OEM camera pops up. So you'll want to make sure that's set to OEM. And aside from that, just make sure all these are unchecked. If you're only using this guy for the phone mirroring, and again, you can add the cameras at any time, guys. So there you have it. We have upgraded to the factory nav. We've given it the override bypass add-on module. Okay. And we've also given it the smartphone mirroring, which we get right here. So thanks for watching. For any questions, as usual, please give us a call at the 866 number, or feel free to text the 919 number at the end of the video. Thanks so much.